Welcome to Pixel Gaiden!
Alright, welcome to Pixel Gaiden. My name is Cody Hoffman, and I had the opportunity recently when I was at a work event near Chicago to hop on over. I made sure I had the time to knock this off my gaming bucket list, but to visit the Galloping Ghost arcade. You can see here on the GPS. This is an arcade, world-renowned, claims to be the largest arcade in the world, and so I had to check it out. I heard this facility had lots of unique games. It had lots of prototypes, rare one-offs, or one of only a handful in existence, and just a ton of arcades. Now, I will say, when they say it's the largest arcade in the world, they must not mean by size of building, because it's actually a fairly small building, which surprised me. In my mind, it was this massive, like, two-story warehouse, and no, it's actually a pretty small, kind of one-block sized building. But that being said, they must mean it by the number of games in the facility. I forget how many machines they say they own, but it is thousands, and I think they have something like 1,100 or 1,300, somewhere in there, games like on the floor, ready to play at any given time. The rest must be in a warehouse somewhere, I'm not sure. So I just wanted to create this video to give you some highlights of what I enjoyed. A lot of this, honestly, is for my co-host Eric and Tim on the Pixel Gaiden podcast. If you don't listen to our podcast, please head there and make these videos just kind of in jest as they seem necessary, because I wanted to share something from my experience with everybody. But let's hop right into some games, shall we?
Check this game out, Mars. It's like a classic side-scrolling, like, scramble-style game, but you've got a character joystick and a 8-way fire joystick. Kind of an ugly UFO, but the gameplay becomes really fun. You got these enemies, like those guys, planes, but these little homing missiles come off the planes. On the ground, you've got things to shoot. But again, you're firing 8-way with 2 joysticks, so it's like a side-scrolling shooter / twin stick. I don't know what the true high score is, but the game must have been turned off. That's my score. And I noticed they typically have these cards up here that tell you the high score. World record compared to the Galloping Ghost record. You can see they have the top 3 here. It's, of course, being a gorgeous Star Wars. But I noticed for Mars, the card just fell back there. Nonetheless, very cool game. Check this game. There's a game called Mega Force. See it down there. What's notable here is, look at this gentleman, Peter Gore's world record. He did it right here on this machine. Look at that. History. My first time ever playing track and field with the button action. I finally know what you guys are all talking about when we talk about the broken buttons. Alright, now I'm a little skeptical, because a couple of things. First of all, Japanese Dio game by Sammy. It's got Dio instructions right there. There's some weird cutouts. They definitely did a little handiwork. But look at this control panel. What kind of control panel? That is very Street Fighter. In fact, I don't think Dio has a defensive crouch maneuver or a roundhouse kick. But nonetheless, I'm playing Dio in this cabinet. And here's the other thing I'm wondering. Yet again, another high score world record by Jamie Tibbetts. By the way, this Andrew Owazko has his name on most games. He is prolific. But are you telling me that this arcade has a high score, this Japanese shmup? I would guess somewhere in Japan on a candy cab, there's a much higher score. That's just my guess.
So I wanted to go ahead and highlight some of the games that we played here on this show. So if you're watching the video, you can see those now. But a couple notes right here as we've been watching this together. It was obvious that the arcade has a lot of games, but they're not all in original cabinets, especially the older ones, the Japanese games. I didn't see a single candy cab in the entire place, which I was a little upset about since there's a good amount of Japanese arcade titles here, but they were kind of retrofit into like American cabinets. Also, I get it, they're being very frugal and efficient with their cabinet work, but they have a lot of cabinets that have like the plexiglass hand cut out of new plexiglass, and it's very rough and not straight. They typically have the correct displays above the monitor, but and the correct arcade boards, but the controls and everything else are kind of put together to make things work, if you will. I love the feeling of this arcade. I've never been in a true arcade as people talked about in the 70s and early 80s. I've only been to pizza places and that kind of thing. So when I went there and I felt the kind of grunginess and the darkness and kind of everything was kind of imperfect. I mean, they were in a good way. There were holes in the floor that were covered up with duct tape and things like that. A real make it happen kind of a feel, which I actually appreciated. It was very interesting.
Funky Jet sidearms. As you'll notice, same thing here. Andrew Owazka, congratulations. Local history made on this machine. World record on this machine as well. Shoot, let's just keep going. Fantasy Zone. Pete Hahn, congratulations. World record on this machine. What about Space Zap? How many Space Zaps are there? I have no idea. Looks like, nope, I'm sorry, Justin. Not world record, but well done. Space Zap is interesting. Look at the buttons on this now. Might have to give this thing a try. Look at 1980 Midway. So that should have been made right here in Chicago. This game is intense, actually. I'm not even joking. Substantial. Pick which side you're going to attack on to shoot. Depends with your hands. This is one of the games I've enjoyed the most, honestly, since being here. Then you shoot this little Starfighter thing. 1980 game, that was a TIE Fighter. Alright, again, hard in one hand. We got ourselves a nice splatterhouse here. We got Haunted Castle, the original arcade version of Castlevania. And of course you got US Castlevania, which is the NES version of it in the Nintendo Cap. But check out over here, this game is Wacko. Valley Midway is Wacko. I don't know a ton about the game. I know I've seen it on my main machine, but if you actually look this thing up, the whole arcade machine is made, physically built at some crazy angles, and it's bizarre. It's definitely attention-getting. And of course, for Tim, we got Nappy, the game which somehow he had never heard of last episode. Just played me some Warlords on a, I think it was 1982 Atari Warlords cabinet here, 1981 cabinet. Apparently I got a high score for the day. That's not saying much. I lost to the computer, so really quick thing about Warlords I didn't realize. The spinning knobs make it really flippin' fun. You got the Power Stone button. The graphics are way better than they are on the Atari 2600 version, which is like the only version I know. I know there's a 7800 version, and there's a dragon flying around here, which looks legit. But I didn't realize it was a, I'm going to say black and white game, but there's overlays, kind of like a Vectrex. And of course you can use the Power Stone to grab the ball and shoot it somewhere else. This is a two-player cabinet, so I can see it being a whole lot of fun with two players. I know there's a four-player cocktail as well, and oh my goodness, that would be fun. I wonder if there's another one of those around here somewhere. I want to keep looking, but yeah, the overlays really add some funkiness to this game, as you got your four castles that you're breaking blocks off of, trying to get to the juicy center to destroy your enemies, and just having these big blocks of color overlaying your castles to differentiate them is a lot more unique in person, and the game's a lot more fluid, smooth, and fast. Pretty impressive for a 1981 game, honestly. The cabinet, by the way, is in great shape too. Did you know they made a 4-player, 2-screen Technobowl? What in the world? Did not know. All I can say about this game is it is called Space Game.
There were so many different types of games on display here, everything from really one-off weird rare ones to, of course, the entire lineup of classic Nintendo titles like Mario Brothers and things like that. I just really enjoyed seeing these little areas that you'd find types of games that were related, but a lot of them I had never seen before. Who knew that Omega Race was a sit-down, walk-in cab? I don't see the point for this, but how cool is this? Titles like Gun Force 2 I've never heard of, all kinds of crazy things. Of course, we've got classics and things. There was units there that we played on the show. It's a bunch of Japanese games, Zero Gunner, and a lot of shmups that we really enjoyed to play on the show. Of course, there was a Burger Time that I found in the wild there. We had to take a picture for Tim. And, of course, found Eric's classic childhood game Inferno, of which I think there's only supposed to be like 6 known to exist anymore. But I did want to highlight a lot of the kind of bizarre, to me, Japanese titles that I found.
This game's wacky. I wish I could have showed you. I just built a woman's face. Can I play that one again to show you? No, I can't. Ooh, how about this one? This one is, I just saw a second ago. This is a watermelon eating contest type of a thing, but I think it's an alien eating cows. Yes. How about I play this one? Let's see what it says. Did it just say go? Or it's like, yeah, I just mashed the button. All right, let's be an alien and let's eat some cow.
Ready?
I'm ready.
Go.
No. Gonna eat the whole cow. Legs, head. Oh, got it. You know what it's like? It's like a wacky Japanese track and field, basically. Really simple mini games. You have to clear in a certain amount of time. Crazy. So I got on that one. 100%. You saw it here, folks. I introduced to you the world's first funky fighter. I don't even know what it is yet. I just saw like poppable buttons, and I'm gonna have to figure out how this game plays. So each game has the button. It should be a red button here, but replaces the coin slot. So there you can see I credited it up because these are all on either free play or there's a coin bypass. And we're gonna give this one a go. One-handed here. Stage 1. How do I start it? Oh yeah. Is it? Yes, it's literally poppable, huh? Oh, check this out. Well, I'm playing one-handed, so this ain't gonna go too well. It's actually legitimately cool. Oh, get him. I'm still gonna get him. Oh, I'm punching female crocodiles who expose themselves when I punch them. That's inappropriate. What's to keep me from hitting like all the buttons? I can only do a couple at a time. It's programmed that way. Interesting. Now, how about the Pac-Man clone based on rock, paper, scissors? And currently rock. So if I can find a scissor, oh, there's a scissor. I can eat that.
You got me.
But watch out for that paper coming behind me because that'll eat me up. What do these buttons do?
You got me.
I don't even know. It's called Gotcha. That's new. No comment. Tim Merrick, look what I found. Boogie Wings. And we're doing this shoot on the episode recently. Remember, this is the American version of, I can't remember the name of it in Japan, but Boogie Wings cabinet. They've got everything here. And sure enough, world record and Galloping Ghost record. Same dude. Another item of note. I'm in here. I'm on like hour 2, hour 3 now. I don't know. There's a lot of power going through this place. First of all, it would not exist in California because This would cost a small fortune if you're paying PG&E prices. The other thing is, it is hot. I'm sure it feels nice in here in the winter, but right now it's hot. These things are putting out some heat. Alright, this whole aisle here is Neo Geos. Every single one of these. I don't think I've ever even seen a 6 slot. This is a 6 slot, and they've got just every Neo Geo game that's existed. Last Resort. Oh man, they even have Xeno Crisis, the new one from 2019. Love that game. There it is, Xeno Crisis. Just walking down here to see anything else of note. I mean, Japanese games, of course, big hit American games or fighting games. A lot of fighting games. Here's your kind of U.S. specials. Nom 1975, Magician's Lord, 1945 plus, Nightmare in the Dark. There you go, Eric. Released in 2000. What else we got in here? I mean, they're all here. Windjammers. Gotta love some Windjammers. There's some Ghost Pilots. All the Metal Slugs are loaded in this one here. We've got 6 of them, and this is its own dedicated Metal Slug 6 cab here. Samurai Showdowns, and for some reason, a 4-player gauntlet. Not sure why that fits in here, but sure, why not? So another thing I'm noticing is the difference in sizes in some of these games. So like, how do I flip this thing over? This little guy, Alcon here, compared to Tiger Road next to it. I mean, it fits in between the alley here. Cool looking game though. Alcon going here. Another interesting thing I've noticed with a lot of these games I never noticed before. If you want to play right hand on the stick, you can with this buttons over here. And if you want to play left hand on the stick, then you have these buttons over here for right hand. But they do the exact same thing. So a lot of these games I've noticed, these older ones, are made to be ambidextrous like this, which is pretty darn cool. For example, I'm noticing this 1984 roller jammer. It looks like this is the same way, yeah. Left and right punch, duck down slide, jump, so that it's a 1-player game with a handle in the middle. And Gunsmoke here, since we talked about Gunsmoke, same thing. Kind of a weird setup here. This is your front left shot, front right shot, and your straight shot's down below here. But same thing, these buttons match these as far as inputs. You just worry about the stick in the center. Also noticing the gap here is a lot bigger than here. Alright, this might be my new favorite classic that I've never played in person for the show. Today, June 1st, by Gottlieb, and this thing is in pretty great condition. It feels solid. The controls feel really solid. The header looks really good. Nowhere near the highest score, but the gameplay in this is just stunning. But check, the speaker is cranked up. I can't hear myself talking over it, which makes the thing just bump in your chest. It sounds absolutely awesome. Just take the time to listen to some of this. Here's a game I found from Data East called Nitro Ball. Literally Smash TV meets pinball. With speedball action in there too. Get like nuts. I've got targets and everything here. Pop the targets. Ding ding ding. This is Smash TV style. Situation of craziness. Popping holes, and of course, when you complete different things, the gate opens at the top and you go on to other fields, just keep moving higher and higher, and there's more pinball around. Super cool. It's Chase HQ here. I never knew that you're supposed to be driving a white Lamborghini. Because in the game, it does not look like a white Lamborghini. I'll have to show you guys, remind you what it looks like, but it's not a white Lamborghini. Meanwhile, there's a great tournament arcade machine. PC in a box kind of thing with a roller wheel. Look down to the left. Crazy stuff here. Oh, that's like a Porsche. There's something about these dumb, simple old games. This is Carnival. You can see it's really straightforward. Literally, I need to put my high score in here because apparently I crushed it. We're talking about a game. It's got left, it's got right, it's got a fire button. It's a shooting gallery. Not much to it here, but there is something about just going left and right and shooting. There. Look at that, we got some animals, we got some birds coming down, shoot that one. Up, actually look at it, just quacked and ate my stuff, but for the most part it's just a shooting gallery. And I finally figured out the top of the screen here, there's these pipes on that wheel you can get. But look how wacky this bezel is. It's all like bent and warped. And there's just something about the way the speaker sounds in person that... Look at that. Oh, I'm crushing it.
The Galloping Ghost also had a lot of very large machines. A lot of these were newer machines. There was a room kind of dedicated to them in the middle back. Some were imported from Japan. I think Resident Evil had this large one. You could fit like 4 or more people inside this first-person shooter style, gun type game, and there was a number of these, which was really unique. Again, I wish it didn't take up as much of the ground floor. You probably could have fit in, 30 games in the space of about 6 of these mega large ones. But really cool. A couple older games I saw there that I had never seen in person, which I was really excited to share with you as well.
Here we got an original Darius with the 3 screens. You can see off the 1, 2, 3 there. And then the 2 screens in Darius 2. A single screen version, and of course you've got Darius Post DX, 4 players crossed, 2 widescreen LEDs. Man, I have to say, this is one of the coolest experiences here yet. I'm trying to play one-handed, it's not working, but my goodness. Also the dead? Yes. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's not working, but 4. This thing's nuts. This is called, it's a Stern game of all things. Dark Planet 3D. Looks like this one came out, I want to say 83 is the highest rate, 82. There we go, Stern Electronics. What's crazy about this is I didn't know where to look in this thing. It looks like a skinny robot eye looking at you. You kind of peek in here, and I don't know if you can see down there, but there's like a picture of a dungeon down there. Not a picture, I'm sorry, it's a physical model of a dungeon with like a cave. And the graphics overlay on top of that in some crazy fashion. It's hard to use, but how cool is that gameplay? My goodness. I've never played it before, but it's a blast. It's got the really cool Star Wars style joystick. It's fast and crazy. 1989, way before its time. And the best part is after walking around here for 2 hours standing up, I get to look like a fool, but I get to sit down. It's nice. Alright, check this out. I didn't realize this was an actual thing. There's 3 Vectrex games basically here in a row. Starting with Star Castle, which I knew was a real machine, but I didn't know it actually had the overlay. Just like the actual Vectrex game. And then check out what's next to that, Ripoff. Which, man, that looks like a deluxe asteroids kind of a thing. Unfortunately, this one's not running right now. Some complicated controls here. And next to that, Armor Attack, and guess what? Let me see that, not working again, unfortunately. Vector games, but same thing, it's got the overlay. Same controls too, look at that. Interesting. I'm guessing they're both made by Cinematronics. correct. Want another one? Starhawk. That's 4 in a row. And ooh, that one looks. Check out Quantum. It's a super simple game from Atari. I got a trackball. Well, you can't see it there. It's kind of a dark screen. But you've got a trackball. I think there's screen issues on this because you can't see some of these, but these little planets show up on your vector screen, and you use your trackball to literally circle them and take them off the screen. And because of the use of the trackball, it's actually a lot more fun. Well, as I'm sucking it up right now, a lot more fun to play. And Eric, I just played my first game of Fantasy Zone on an actual arcade. And I'm going to tell you the truth here. The saddest thing about me playing these actual arcade machines, just tapping that button over and over again, and the weird angle down here. I'm getting like cramps and I can't play long. I'm an old man. I don't know what else to tell you. This Atari Firefox game is pretty legit. Although it looks like they reused Star Wars. Check this out now. Got motion video, like laser disc action going on in the background, but it's actually really fun gameplay, especially with this controller. I think you can lock onto these planes to try to blow them up, and when you do, of course, let's go to the sky. Actually, no, the ground is kind of cooler. I played a little bit of this already. Get him. There he goes. He blew up. Fun kind of thing. Check this out. I've been detected. This is actually fairly playable with one hand, actually. I don't know how well I'm videoing. Go around again. We're in like a ice world here. 2 more games here where they've got like 2D or pseudo 3D 2D sprite graphics overlaid on video. We've got Mach 3 Military Air Command Hunter. It's like a top-down bazaar. I didn't know there was that many of these games. This other one here is called Us Versus Them by Milestar Electronics in 1984. So straight up using, they both say laser games, so I guess they're, again, Laserdisc providing the background graphics. Very interesting. Check out Galaxy Ranger. This thing is like 2D sprites over Laserdisc action. Problem is, I can't tell if I hit anything. I mean, I guess the big explosion, yeah. The ground blew up. This is something here. Yeah, blow it up. Where am I now? No idea. Side B. You think that means I got hit? Super goofy game called Exterminator by Gottlieb. If you look at this thing, there's some joystick controls with, again, pound buttons both on the left and right of the joystick, so you can use either hand. But you are an exterminator going into a house. And these are like pseudo photorealistic pictures. There we go, I'm pounding a wasp right now. And there's like beer cans rolling on the floor, mosquitoes and wasps in the house, and you're trying to like smash them with your hand. It's some bizarre like Amiga era looking stuff. 1989, that's pretty impressive for 1989. Eric, you're not gonna believe it. They have an Inferno. I'm giving this thing a shot right now. I need both hands for this, don't I? Alright, let's give this a shot.
So at this point, we can't see much. I just want you to enjoy the classic Williams sounds.
Eric, this is really hard.
This is a game that Eric played at a local, I believe, restaurant or laundromat when he was a kid. Very rare game, and crazy that they had one in person.
Eric, I turned all the guys into like dark silhouettes, but I can't recall what you do at this point. Oh, they're now escaping out the dark mouth thing. That's not good. And I've died. I've been infernoed multiple times, Eric. This game, I don't think it's as good as you think it was. But I'm glad that you love it. just come to Chicago so you can play one.
So that about wraps up my trip to the Galloping Ghost. Ultimately, it's an amazing place. I think it's definitely something worth checking out. I don't know if it's the reason to visit Chicago, but it's a reason, among with a few other things, all the pinball going on in Chicago and things like that. Again, loved the kind of dark, seedy atmosphere that I'd heard about so much with old arcades. This definitely seemed to have it. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your taste, no stale smoke smell or old beer on the cabinets. I think it's also worth noting this is definitely a labor of love. I can't see them making much money. Again, with the amount of electricity going through this place, every Monday the Galloping Ghosts has an online reveal for a new game. So every single week a new game is being presented to the floor, and sure enough, the new game I saw the day before was indeed on the floor. And while I was there, again, it was Tuesday night, and I played from about 6:30 until it closed at midnight on a Tuesday night. Saw a few people in there, but given how many machines there were, I would say there's maybe one or two people every other aisle of machines that I saw. So I expected to be much busier on weekends and things like that. But obviously they're probably not making a ton of money. I made sure to pick up some stickers and some T-shirts and things to say thank you for the awesome experience at the Galloping Ghost. It was only, I think, $20 to enter, or you could pay another $5 to play at their pinball location down the street. You could walk there, or a very short drive, and they have all the pinball machines under that building. I think it's a little bit more on different days. And considering how rare a lot of these machines are, the fact that they just have them laying out for everyone to play, to get beat up, to get worked on, I could very much excuse the fact that probably 1 or 2 out of every 10 machines is not working. And they do have a way for you to communicate that to the operator owners so they can get them fixed. But they're moving machines constantly. They have, I'm sure, a warehouse of other machines. I'm sure they're pulling machines out and fixing them as much as possible to get them back on the floor, especially the rare ones. So crazy labor of love they got going on here, and highly recommend it. Tim and Eric, next time join me, and let's put a weekend at the Galloping Ghost Arcade.